uSports, Central, Adam Deal, Charles Ashley. It is time for some 3 and Out, some friendly debate, Charles. Lot to go over, especially district recap, so that's on first. All the games that went on last night were big time here. The first one, obviously, is Rio Rancho. Right?
Yeah, you had a Rio Rancho
loses to Volcano Vista, and that's 100% the biggest topic, because what Volcano Vista does, they go in there, they shorten the score. That's the least amount of points by a long shot the Rio Rancho Rams have put up, 44-40 win for Volcano.
Yeah, we were talking about them slowing the game down, and it would be, what's the case, a 60-point, 50-point game. Coach Brown got the game into the 40s. This is a team, a Rio Rancho team that gets outscored 75, 80 points a game. And for you to manage that, for you to figure out a way to slow that team down to where they're playing your style of ball, you have to give nothing but credit to where credit is due. And Coach Brown deserves credit. And his team executed the game plan.
We talked about this earlier, Charles, off camera. I'm shocked that teams haven't kind of figured this one out yet. I mean, Greg Brown loves to put a sticky defender on a score like Ryan Jones, or in this case it was Brady Patterson, and they'll double Brady Patterson when he's on the top of the key, and the Rams could not figure it out. They just couldn't get any open looks. This is a great stat. You're going to find this hard to believe. The Rams did not hit one three-pointer last night. Not one three-pointer.
And that's a major part of their game.
And that's who they are. That's who the Rams are.
Yeah, they're a three-point shooting team, so for them not to knock down a three, that tells you that Volcano did their job. I watched this Rio Rancho team. Brady Patterson handles the ball a lot. So if he's not controlling the ball, someone else needs to step up for the team and make some plays, but that might be the way to beat him. Don't let Brady get the ball. Don't let him facilitate anything, because even if he's not scoring, he's still making a good pass to an open Garrison or to Hurt in the corner. But if you eliminate him touching the ball.
Interesting. Juan Hurt goose egg last night, 0 points.
He struggled the last 2 games.
From the field, yes. Snyder had 6 points, maybe right around his average, but Zach Garrettson only 8 points. Patterson was limited to 17 points, and the guy you need to talk to is David Cormier as we move on here, though. 23 points for the Hawks, and one of the more athletic bigs that I think I've seen and haven't heard too much about throughout the season. So, once again, great win for the Volcano Vista Hawks. They're in sole possession. Second place in that district at 4-2. The Rams are 4-2 as well, but Volcano's beat them twice.
Adam, they have a chance Friday to jump into first place in this district. They get Cleveland.
Isn't it nuts?
If you ask us, what did we pick them to finish? 3rd or 4th in this district? Not first.
4th.
4th, yes, 4th.
You said they're going to lose 10 straight.
Yes, I did say that. I thought they would. They were struggling.
And they've got good wins. They got to win against Valley. They got to win against Sandia. They've got to win. Those are district winners. They've got to win against Carlsbad. Carlsbad. They've got to win against the Cougars. 2 wins against the Rams. You just can't get a read on this team. But right now, they're feeling it. Okay, Valley goes in and beats Atrisco Heritage at Atrisco Heritage. Great win. Valley now 6-0 in district play. Definitely control their destiny in this one. Even a slip up against Albuquerque High, and they'll be 6-1, and Albuquerque then would be 4-2, I believe, right?
Yeah, they'd be 4-2.
So they've got a lot of room here. They could clinch things on Thursday with the win. I'll tell you what's important, though. West Mesa, the Mustangs, they beat Rio Grande and kind of stopped that little bleeding, the losing streak that they had of 2 games. That was an 11-point win. You thought they looked good last night, West Mesa.
They looked good, but listen, West Mesa fan, I'm going to tell you something that you might not know. You control your destiny right now. You have Valley on your schedule still, and you have Albuquerque High on your schedule still. So if they can manage to win those games, okay, but
3-3 in district
they still have them on there. So you still have a good chance at still in that second place.
They've got to play Atrisco Heritage, Valley, and Albuquerque High still. It's going to be difficult.
Well, they already got Atrisco out the way, so they get Rio Grande, right? No, they do have Atrisco. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they've got a tough road.
That's a tough road.
I don't think they control their own destiny. I think
they can get a second if they win out.
Well, Valley's got to lose out. They can get second.
No, second. So, yeah.
We'll see. We'll show you where they are in bracketology here in a minute. And then Rio Rancho, Cleveland, they beat Santa Fe. We talked about that just briefly, but that was a District 1 6A game. They went into overtime last time at Santa Fe. Well, Cleveland this time scores in the 90s and blows Santa Fe right out the water.
Cleveland, a good tune-up game going into this Friday matchup, which is now pretty much for district. at least that first place, because now you're going to be sitting there with a team. Now it goes to tiebreaker, so to speak. Who else won? Oñate loses at Cruces. Now they fall behind.
Huge, right? So
big time game.
We thought this though. I thought it was going to be a low score. It was.
It was.
Cruces wins by 5. We thought it was going to be close.
53-47, close game.
And then the other one I thought that was interesting is Gadsden goes to Mayfield and does win and pulls out a really low-scoring game as well.
52-48.
And so Gadsden is hanging around with Cruces. It's a two-man race now between Cruces and Gadsden, but we thought Cruces would slowly pull away from this district.
Pull away.
And they are at a district.
Slowly pull away, but you have a Gadsden team with 2 losses in district. They have the opportunity to play Cruces again, a team that Gadsden beat handedly early on. So now Gadsden can find a way to sneak that district. They have a good chance to do that, Adam. If I'm Gadsden, the Panthers, I'm happy right now. I'm sitting in a good spot.
Hobbs smashes Clovis. We thought that would happen.
They didn't score 100. We thought they were scoring 100.
They won by 50. Carlsbad beats Alamogordo.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Carlsbad beats Alamogordo, sets up the Friday round 2 matchup. This time it's at
Big
Carlsbad.
for Carlsbad, though.
Hobbs going to make the travel. Huge for Carlsbad.
Big for Carlsbad, in my opinion, because Carlsbad, against all the premier teams, have slipped up. They do have a win over Valley, but West Mesa found a way to get a win over them. Now this Hobbs team, if they end up beating them twice, I can see people in the committee saying, wait a minute, they don't have that many good wins on their resume. I can see them falling. So this is a big game for them.
Okay, let's move along here on 3 and Out. And now there are some big games still going forward, and there's some bracket buster games, Charles, and it has a lot to do with teams that are on the bubble, which we'll talk about a little bit later here on 3 and Out. But District 2 is going to get going again tonight, and there's some key matchups.
Yeah, our bracket busters are teams that have the resume to move some of those upper echelon teams down, so to speak. So you have a Sandia team who struggled early on, found a rhythm. Now they're sitting undefeated in their district. They're going to play. They win this district. You're talking about a team that's 12-9 right now. So that's going to take a spot of a team, a Rio Rancho, Albuquerque High, a team that's going to probably end up with 19, 20 wins that will move them down in
Sandia's resume is still going to hurt them.
So I think that's what's going to bust us up a little more.
Seeds them, I think their resume is still going to hurt them. They don't have a lot of quality wins, Sandia. So they are hot right now. They are a team that you don't want to play come into March. We both agree with that.
Yes.
But the Matadors.
But what about
Charles,
a Volcano, though?
You
just reeled off a very impressive resume for them. So if they could find a way to beat the Cleveland team, what would this all look like?
Well, it will tell you what it's going to look like. In fact, when we return here from break, we're going to show you exactly how we have it broken down. It'll be bracketology when we return right here on uSports.
Did you write that in pencil?
I did.